This video is for educational purposes. Antananarivo, also known by its colonial shorthand form Tana, is the capital and largest city of Madagascar. The administrative area of the city, known as Antananarivo Renovohitra, E Antananarivo Mother Hill, or A Antananarivo Capital, is the capital of Analamanga region. The city sits at 1,280 meters, 4,199 feet, above sea level in the center of the island, the highest national capital by elevation among the island countries. It has been the country's largest population center since at least the 18th century. The Presidency, National Assembly, Senate and Supreme Court are located there, as are 21 diplomatic missions and the headquarters of many national and international businesses and NGOs. It has more universities, nightclubs, art venues, and medical services than any city on the island. Several national and local sports teams, including the championship-winning national rugby team, the Maquis, are based here. Kindly subscribe to this channel and share this video with your friends and families. Antananarivo was historically the capital of the Merina people, who continue to form the majority of the city's 3,650,331, 2023 census inhabitants. The surrounding urban areas have a total metropolitan population approaching 3 million. All 18 Malagasy ethnic groups, as well as residents of Chinese, Indian, European and other origins, are represented in the city. It was founded circa 1610, when the Merina king Andafiavaratra (1612–1630) expelled the Vizimba inhabitants of the village of Analamanga. Declaring it the site of his capital, Andafiavaratra built a Rova fortified royal dwelling that expanded to become the royal palaces of the kingdom of Merina. The city retained the name Analamanga until the reign of King Andafiavaratra (1675–1710), who renamed it Antananarivo, the City of the Thousand, in honor of Andafiavaratra's soldiers. The city served as the capital of the Kingdom of Merina until 1710, when Merina split into 4 warring quadrants. Antananarivo became the capital of the southern quadrant until 1794, when King Andafiavaratra of Ambohimanga captured the province and restored it as the capital of a united kingdom of Merina, also bringing neighboring ethnic groups under Merina control. These conquests continued under his son, Radama I, who eventually controlled over 2/3 of the island, leading him to be considered the king of Madagascar by European diplomats. Antananarivo remained the island's capital after Madagascar was colonized by the French in 1897 and after independence in 1960. The city is now managed by the Commune Urbaine d'Antananarivo (CUA), under the direction of its president of the Special Delegation, New York Havana Andrea Mangiato, appointed in March 2014. Limited funds and mismanagement have hampered consecutive CUA efforts to manage overcrowding and traffic, waste management, pollution, security, public water and electricity, and other challenges linked to explosive population growth. Major historic landmarks and attractions in the city include the reconstructed royal palaces and the Andafiavaratra Palace, the tomb of Rainiharo, Tsimbazaza Zoo, Mahamasina Stadium, Lake Anosy, 4 19th-century martyr churches, and the Museum of Art and Archaeology. Antananarivo was originally the site of a town called Analamanga, meaning a blue forest, in the Central Highlands dialect of the Malagasy language. Analamanga was established by a community of Vizimba, the island's first occupants. Merina King Andafiavaratra, who migrated to the region from the southeast coast, seized the location as the site of his capital city. According to oral history, he deployed a garrison of 1,000 soldiers to successfully capture and guard the site. The hill and its city retained the name Analamanga until the reign of King Andafiavaratra, who renamed it Antananarivo, the City of the Thousand, in honor of Andafiavartra's soldiers. Antananarivo was already a major city before the colonial era. After expelling the Vizimba who inhabited the town at the peak of Analamanga Hill, Andafiavaratra chose the site for his Rova fortified royal compound, which expanded over time to enclose the royal palaces and the tombs of Merina royalty. The city was established in around 1610 or 1625 according to varying accounts. Early Merina kings used Fanampoana statute labor to construct a massive system of irrigated paddy fields and dikes around the city to provide adequate rice for the growing population. These paddy fields, of which the largest is called the Betsimaditata, continue to produce rice. Successive Merina sovereigns ruled over the kingdom of Merina from Analamanga through King Andafiavartra's reign. This sovereign gave the growing city its current name. He established the Andahalo town square outside the town gate, where all successive sovereigns delivered their royal speeches and announcements to the public, and assigned the names of numerous locations within the city based on the names of similar sites in the nearby village of Antananarivo. Andafiavaratra designated specific territories for the Hova, commoners, and each Andriana, noble, subcaste, both within the neighborhoods of Antananarivo and in the countryside surrounding the capital. These territorial divisions were strictly enforced. Members of subcastes were required to live within their designated territories and were not authorized to stay for extended periods in the territories reserved for others. Numerous fadi taboos, including injunctions against the construction of wooden houses by non-nobles and the presence of swine within the city limits, were imposed. Upon Andafiavaratra death in 1710, Merina split into 4 warring quadrants, and Antananarivo was made the capital of the southern district. During the 77-year civil war that followed, the eastern district's capital at Ambohimanga rose in prominence. The last king of Ambohimanga, Andafiavaratra, successfully conquered Antananarivo in 1793. He reunited the provinces of Merina, ending the civil war. He moved the kingdom's political capital back to Antananarivo in 1794 and declared Ambohimanga the kingdom's spiritual capital, a role it still maintains. Andafiavaratra created a large marketplace in Annalalekli, establishing the city's economic center. By the time Andafiavarata's son Radama I had ascended the throne upon his father's death in 1810, Antananarivo was the largest and most economically important city on the island, with a population of over 80,000 inhabitants. Radama opened the city to the first European settlers, artisan missionaries of the London Missionary Society, LMS, who arrived in 1820 and opened the city's first public schools. James Cameron introduced brickmaking to the island and created Lake Anosy to generate hydraulic power for industrial manufacturing. Radama established a military training ground on a flat plain called Mahamasina at the base of Annafiavaratra near the lake. Radama's subjugation of other Malagasy ethnic groups brought nearly 2/3 of the island under his control. The British diplomats who concluded trade treaties with Radama recognized him as the ruler of Madagascar, a position he and his successors claimed despite never managing to impose their authority over the larger portion of the island's south. Thereafter, Merina sovereigns declared Antananarivo the capital of the entire island. Radama's successor Ranavalouna I invited a shipwrecked craftsman named Jean Laborde to construct the tomb of Prime Minister Rainiharo and Manjikamiadana, built 1839 to 1841, the largest palace at the Rova. Laborde also produced a wide range of industrial products at factories in the highland village Mantasoa and a foundry in the Antananarivo neighborhood of Isaraka. Ranavalouna oversaw improvements to the city's infrastructure, including the construction of the city's 2 largest staircases at Antananarivo and Ambandrona, which connect La Ville Moyenne, the middle town, to the central marketplace at Annalalekli. In 1867, following a series of fires in the capital, Queen Ranavalouna II issued a royal decree that permitted the use of stone and brick construction in buildings other than tombs. Kindly subscribe to this channel and share this video with your friends and families. See you in the next one.